Welcome back to Best Friends Forever. No one wants to imagine a world where they're not here for their child. But for Synitta, living with a chronic illness means preparing for every possibility, even the ones that are hard to speak out loud. In this episode, we step into one of the most intimate corners of friendship, the moment you ask your best friend to step in, not just for you, but for your child. So Synitta, how do you even begin to have a conversation with you living with a chronic illness of, if something happens to me, I want you to take care of my child? Now, obviously, she's the baby mama, so I'm sure it's like, of course she's going to do it. But how did you even have that conversation with her?
Well, the interesting thing is Tamara wasn't like the number one guardian at first. And she knows it wasn't, my decision was based on who would be equipped to take care of Logan. So I was looking at it holistically, not, I want this person to do it because I like them, because I feel like I have failed Logan in choosing her original godparents. I based them off of the things I wanted to instill in Logan as a human being. So her godfather, I picked him because he had been working since we were kids. He was like my friend. He had a job, the same job for years. He only really worked in two places, Safeway, and then he became an air traffic controller. So he had worked at Safeway for like 15 years, and then he's been an air traffic controller ever since. And I believe I'm like 2 years older than him. So stability is why I chose him. He's he's very type A in that I'm going to take care of my people type of thing. And I was like, this is perfect, because if anything happens to me, it doesn't matter where he is. He's going to take care of Logan. He talked to me every day that I was pregnant. And the minute I told him, oh, she's here, that I had her, he blasted it on social media, like, my godbaby is here, whatever. And she's not his only godchild. He also came out to visit her after she had been born. I think he came, she was maybe 1 or 2. And he came to visit her so she would know who he was and everything. He was a big part of my support system when I was pregnant, even though we were in 2 different states. And it wasn't long check-ins. It was just to see, hey, you and the baby okay? Then the other person that I had picked was someone, she was a very close friend of mine. It was Tangela's sister. I picked her as the godmother because she was on the art side of things. I knew that she wouldn't kill any of Logan's artistic dreams if Logan was an artistic child. She would encourage that because she's into the arts. And then she would make sure Logan was cultured because she traveled a lot. That's how I chose Logan's godparents. And then life happened. So her godfather, he got a family of his own. He got married. He had 2 kids. And he checks on me every now and then, but he doesn't have like a close relationship with Logan. So Logan, oftentimes, she'd be like, who is that? Because he doesn't, and I don't necessarily blame him. I blame like society. It doesn't encourage adults to develop relationships with children. It's the children need to reach out to the adults, and that's not how it works. We have to set the example, right? So he's kind of old school in that way. Well, she doesn't reach out to me, so that's why he don't reach out to her. I don't push that. The original godmother, she's just very much about herself. And she didn't make an effort to come see Logan. She wasn't here when I gave birth to her. And she was flying all over the country and the world, still wouldn't make an effort to come see Logan. And so I just felt like I failed when I picked them because they didn't see the value in my kid. It kind of hurt my feelings. So I said, okay, if we're doing this legally, I have to pick someone who isn't going to let their lifestyle get in the way of taking care of Logan. And so Tamara was in this place. So this is when I was in California, and I had to choose while I was there. And at the time, I had a best friend. We had been friends for almost as long as I had been friends with Tamara, and she was Logan's other godmother. And she was like, I want to be the person that takes care of Logan if something happens to you. My sister was absolutely livid about this, because she was like, how are you going to let somebody else be Logan's guardian if something happens to you? But I wasn't comfortable with my sister being that, because she has a lot of other things going on that would have conflicted, and I can't do nothing once I'm not here. Or if I was brain dead or something, and you're the legal person and you decide you can't take care of her. I wanted to put people that I knew would honor it, even if I wasn't here, and no one had to make them honor it. So I had picked the other best friend because she asked. And then Tamara was number 2. And Tangela was number 3. And it was to go in that order if something happened. So every year I would adjust the paperwork, and I was very clear with people. If something is going on in your life that makes it where, no, it wasn't.
No, it was somebody else.
It was. And the only reason I'm not saying their name is because
we'll protect the guilty.
Yeah.
For now.
It's not even, you know what? It's not.
Yeah.
This may be petty. It's not even to protect the guilty.
Like petty.
I don't want them to get any shine whatsoever. So I would never say your name.
That is the other side of petty.
Never.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Because I already said her first godmother. People can figure out who that is, right?
Yeah.
This other person, I will never say your name on TV. But anyway, she was the third person because she asked, I want to be the one to take care of Logan. She didn't have to ask. I already knew. So she's always been part of the life plan. It has changed significantly to where we've been friends for so long that I know undoubtedly if anything happens, it's Tangela and Tamara. It's a dual effort. It's not either or. If something happens to me, both of them are going to come together to make sure Logan is taken care of. Whatever that entails, whatever that involves. And I haven't gotten that from anyone else. So it's kind of like any life plans that I have. I don't know if she knows this, but anything that happens to me, the money, it goes to her. Her and Logan is split down the middle, because for everything that she has done, I feel like don't nobody else deserve it but her and my child. So she's on all my life policies, and any legal paperwork that I have. I will, when it comes to planning out like arrangements, death arrangements and stuff like that, I don't want to put that pressure on her when it comes to executor estate and all of that. Should I get some valuables? So I will make sure that goes to someone else. Or even when it comes to, I have certain wishes that I would like honored when I pass away. I don't want that to be her responsibility, because I've already been like, if Logan's under 18, that's on you. So I have other friends that have agreed, because I know they'll honor it, because I know Tamara and I know Tangela. And even though I say I want something, they're going to be like, well, she's not here. And this is the best interest of Logan. And they'll change. But I know that because they're my friends. And I don't count that as a bad thing. But I'm not even going to put you in the position to have to deal with that. So there are certain things she's not going to be responsible for. But she knows why. Because I know for a fact they'll change their mind, because in their heart, they feel like they're doing the right thing. And there's some stuff I said, you change it, I will haunt you to the day.
Please, no haunting, no haunting.
And Tamara, first of all, it's such a great honor
Mm-hmm.
for your friend to just think about, I want you to step in the event something happens to me.
And it was, the thing is that when she first did it, and I knew about it, but I wasn't, top of the list, or I wasn't offended by that, because it didn't matter who was doing it. I was still gonna be a part of Logan's life. Like, that was never
A question.
that was never a question. It was always going to be, wherever or whoever she's with, I'm going to be there. Like, any milestone that Logan has, I'm going to be there. Like, it didn't matter. So I never was offended by that. So, how some people be like you were saying earlier, the friend that was like, I'm your bestie. Like, it didn't matter to me. I don't need the title, but I know what the action is. So I'm going to be there for Logan regardless of whether it was me or somebody else. So it didn't bother me, but when she asked me, I was like, of course. Like, it was never going to be a no. It was always going to be a yes. So it just, is that type of situation. Like, again, like, they're my little family. Like, so, I have a lot of family, and they're just a part of my, the bigger version that I have that lives far away. So, but I was okay with that. And not, and I know that because I would be like, oh, but in my heart, I know she knows me well, that she gave it to somebody else, because I would be like, but because, so I don't have to do that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Synitta, so I know that you have been planning should something happen to you, and loss is inevitable for all of us. And I know you lost your father during the pandemic, and you recently lost your aunt. How do you guys support each other through these losses? How did you show up for each other?
Look, and I can say this, is that, like, when you lose someone, for me, I never know what words to say or not to say. I know for Synitta, a lot of it was because of the relationship she had with her father. I felt like it was going to be a difficult sense of loss, because it's your dad, regardless of the nature of the relationship that you all had. And he's no longer here. So if there was an opportunity to repair what was, that opportunity will no longer present itself. So I feel like, to some degree, in her situation, she was left with a lot that she was dealing with herself. And again, I don't know the words to say, but I wanted to be there to just listen. Like, if she wanted to go off about it, I'm the ear. Like, you can go off about it. And it was, what was in the loss, what was humorous about it was the cursing about your dad, or like saying negative things, respect the dead. But
I don't believe that, by the way.
Wait a minute.
Neither do I. Like, if you were
everything was like,
a butthead in life, you're a butthead in death.
and that was kind of the thing. Is so that, like, when she would say things to me, I understood where it was coming from, because it was like, you're grieving and you have all these emotions, and sometimes they come out in certain ways. But again, because of the complications within their relationship, I understood, and she needed to get it out. So I was like, girl, go, let's go. Like, it didn't matter to me, because again, this is what she was going to have to navigate, and kind of, grief doesn't end. It's an ongoing cycle. And so, if you don't, I always get bothered when people are like, it's been such and such amount of time. That doesn't mean anything, especially for the people that I know that have lost a parent. It is very, very, my grandmother passed away when I was a senior in high school. My mother, to this day, still deals with that losing of her mother, and that's been 30 some years. So I know that when you grieve a parent, it's different, very much so. So I knew that what was going to happen, it was going to come in waves. One day she was going to be all right. The next day she wasn't going to be all right. But I just wanted to be a listening ear. I'm not good with the grieving words. I never have been good with the grieving words. But I'm just like, do you want me to listen or do you want me to say something crazy so you can laugh real quick and then we can move forward? And that was really like, I'm here to offer humor as well as a listening ear. That was kind of the way I handled it in her situation.
This has been one of the most difficult things to navigate because I didn't have a great relationship with my dad. And even this rescheduling, because, when we had planned to do this and now we're doing this, tomorrow's the anniversary of his death.
Oh.
So when I think about, I had talked to Tangela. She was like, are you okay? And I realize now she was probably asking that because tomorrow's the anniversary of his death. And I realized I was weepy before this. It wasn't, and we talked.
Yes.
It wasn't just because, okay, I have to get this together, hold it together, because my other really, really close best friend that I have been friends with almost as long as her birthday was yesterday. So it's like, I'm doing something really good now. This best friends forever is so great. But there's two things just looming, threatening to knock the wind out of me. And they're both related to loss and grief. Two big, huge losses in my life that I can't necessarily get support from my friend. Not because she's not willing to give it, but the support that I need, she's just not. I don't know who's equipped to do it other than myself and a therapist. Because it's so many conflicted feelings. There's so much anger. There's so much sadness. And losing a parent, nobody wants to hear you say anything bad about your parents. But if your parents weren't that great of people to you, I'm not going to sugarcoat that just for your sake, right? But I do need the space to get it off my chest with people that I can trust. And so I know that Tamara she doesn't really have a lot of words when it comes to death and loss, but I know it affects her because she's lost people and we've been talking on the phone and she just start crying. And so I know that it touches her, but it is one of those things she doesn't necessarily have the words for it. So I don't hold any of that against her because death is a weird thing. My kid doesn't know how to deal with death because she's like, I don't know him. And people are like, how could she say that that's her grandfather? He didn't
have a relationship. Yeah.
He wasn't present in her life. So how can you expect her to feel anything? But she was just like, I mean, he's your dad though. So however you gonna feel about it, excuse me, it's okay. It's tough because I don't have anyone to really talk to about it. My siblings, I can't really talk to them either. I don't have a good relationship with my mother either. So it's like, I didn't think this was going to be the thing to like make me pause. I thought it was going to be talking about our friendship, but I don't know how to explain it other than to say it's tough. And I wish I have friends who don't have good relationships with their father, but it has bled over into our friendships and they treat me like their fathers treat them. Even though, so it's difficult because it's like at this big age, where do you get the support you need other than your therapist? And you only got an hour.
It's an expensive hour.
Yes, it is.
It is.
I should have got my license.
It is where it goes from in these moments. I mean, I was seeing my therapist when my dad passed away. I was seeing her every week. That's expensive. Every week. And then I was just like, but I wasn't talking about him. And she was like, you talking about, I feel like you're talking about everything but what you need to talk about. What do you need to talk about? And I was like, I'm talking to you about what I need to talk about. But it was never this. So this is a process. I appreciate Tamara saying, when you lose a parent, that grief doesn't go away. So when people are like, it's been such and such a time, you see the effect it has on me. And it's been This is 2025. It's been 3 years. It'll be 3 years tomorrow. And I'm just like, when will this ever go away? When will it shift into I'm not wanting to cry because I've lost someone who was supposed to mean so much to me that didn't care about me the way they should have. It's tough.
Sorry to you. I know we're gangsters, but we can cry sometimes.
You can shed some thug tears. Okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You know?
It is okay.
What is your biggest hope for Tamara in the next 10 years? What do you desire for her?
My biggest hope for Tamara is that I know that she wants to be in a relationship, but I know she also knows the work that comes with it. So for me, I hope that she really assesses that and won't let any more men into her life that do not fit that. Because she deserves so much better than what she has been given.
Mm-hmm.
And she deserves so much better than what she has allowed into her life. I know the bright light that she is, and I be wanting to fight these mofos because they're just like, how can you not see how great of a person she is? Like, you should not want to mess up. Like, she's not just here to be your therapist. She's not here to just make you feel good about yourself. She's so valuable, and that's what I want for her. I want her to surround herself with people that don't just need her, but that want her because she's worth it.
Oh, friend. God damn it.
And Tam, what about you? What do you hope for Synitta?
You know, a lot of people don't know Synitta has big dreams.
I do.
She has really big dreams. And, you know, I want her to achieve all of the things. All the things that we have discussed have always been like wonderful things, but never out of reach. I feel like it's not an impossibility. Even though if she said it to other people, they would be like, she can't do that. And I'd be like, you don't know my friend, because she can do it. And I know if she sets her mind to it, it'll get done. And I know she'll get it. I have no doubt in my mind that she's going to make it happen. I just, you know, I want her and Logan to be able to live the life that they want to live, and so she can see that Logan has become this fabulous kid, and that she realizes that she did a great job raising her. You're a good mommy.
Good job, mama.
You're a good mama. And I just, you know, I want all the things that she has talked about. Like, we always talk about manifestation. That's what I want for her, is that it's going to happen. I promise you it's going to happen.
But you know, I have tons of big dreams. I'm just being a dreamer. It's like, pick one. What's the big one?
Look, oh God, I mean, come on. What is house away from the people, and look, the big tree house. We talked about the big tree house that you wanted to live away from society in a way that you can be peaceful.
Yeah, my dreams are definitely attached to having the money to do.
Yes, right.
Aren't they all?
Yes, but I feel like, you know, even in the workspace, like, you're going to get that my dream for you is especially in the workspace, because you have been in spaces with people who don't appreciate what it is that you bring to the workspace, what you're trying to do to enhance the workspace, to make it a better place. And, you know, you know how I always talk about, sometimes it's not for them, it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do it for you in your own space. And I know we talked about people being entrepreneurs, and it's not for everybody, but you're like a boss lady. Like, that's who you are. And I think once you accept that you are the boss lady, you'll be able to get those directives out. And then the money's coming. Don't worry about that. It's going to get there.
And you know, the crazy thing is, I don't doubt any of this. Yeah. It's really, I'm not I don't have these capacities because of money.
Yeah.
Damn capitalism.
It's the American way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is my favorite part of the episode. It's when you guys get really personal and you all read the letters.
Mhm.
And these letters basically just sums up what you guys have been to each other. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Mine is short.
Right.
And I don't necessarily write a letter as much as I put my thoughts in the
That's
the
fine.
middle of the night on paper to talk about my friendship with Synitta. So, dear Synitta, making friends has always been very easy for me, but maintaining those relationships and friendships have always required work, and you have always let me know that these things require work. I've learned to do the work in the friendships because of you. Thank you so very much. And you're not a friend to me as much as you are my family. You've taught me about myself in ways that I didn't realize that I was showing up for you or for other people. So you've made me a better person in that way. This relationship that we have has allowed me to evolve into the person that I want to be. So again, thank you. Synitta, you hold my feet to the fire and you require better of me. And knowing that I have someone who will be there for me, no matter how crazy my thoughts and ideas seem, is priceless. You tell me the truth and you keep me honest. You allow me to be a part of Logan's life and have an impact on her in a way that I never thought I would. And I'm not sure what my life would be like without you two. And I'm glad that I don't have to. Our friendship has been life-changing, and I appreciate everything that you bring to my world.
Thank you, friend.
Beautiful. You're up next.
All right. Let's see, where'd I put this? All right. I should have put my tassel in there. Okay. Dear Tamara, when I turned 45, all I wanted for my birthday was for the people I felt closest to put into writing their definitions of friendship, how they viewed me as a person, and what our friendship meant to them. I thought I had chosen people who would understand where I was coming from when I asked, because it wasn't just some random run-of-the-mill ask. It was to celebrate my 45 years on this planet. Some people said they'd do it. They never did. Some belittled it because they just didn't want to do it. It wasn't important to them. And some made excuses instead of honestly admitting they were never going to do it. But there were plenty of people who happily gave me the only thing I wanted to help me celebrate myself, gaining another year. You were one of those people. Even after being friends for 25 years, it spoke to who you've always been to me. A solid friend who does what she can, when she can, because she can. You've never made me feel like I was a burden, an inconvenience, or unworthy of your space and time. Your consistency and presence has been a key factor in why I've stayed friends with you. Even when things seemed a little shaky, I knew and understood it wasn't due to things going south with us, but life happening. It's never felt like our friendship was a band-aid for an unhealed wound in your life. I value that I really can talk to you about anything while knowing you're going to be honest, loving, and hilarious with your responses. I trust that you mean what you say when you say you'll always be here. I'd be lying if I said there were no moments of concern about us growing apart, but if we're being honest, those moments happened when our communication needed to improve. I don't think that improvement meant talk more. I know it meant have more meaningful and honest conversations. So I'm glad it didn't become a permanent roadblock in our growth together. I'm grateful to know and love a person like you. You consistently prove that if people really want to stay friends, they'll work together to maintain the friendship. Lord knows I've had plenty of friendships go all bad, But this is the one friendship that continues to prove all the bad can't cancel out hope for the good. Having maintained this 25-year friendship with no breaks, no fallouts, no deceit, no betrayal, no jealousy, makes you my standard. So thank you for being my real best friend.
I love it. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show and proving that you guys are the standard for best friendships. If this story touched you, please follow, share, and subscribe at LifeByRhadia.